Hello, I'm IBX2Cat, and welcome back to another second channel video. Today I have some Titanfall gameplay, which I know is something you haven't heard anyone say in a long time, but it is true. This is Titanfall. So, what is Titanfall? You probably don't know because you know how obscure the game is right now. And basically, Titanfall is a game made by Respawn Entertainment, which was the same team that made Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. They were called Infinity Ward back then, but they left because of a big dispute. But the main point you need to know is that they made, the two games that kind of revolutionized FPS and brought it into the form that we know it as today. And the funny thing about how they did that is they did that by including RPG elements in the multiplayer, and they combined the FPS that we know, where it's like 5-on-5 in arena, kill the people, win the game, and they combined that with a leveling system that went with that, like in-game rewards for getting more kills, and like loads of just simple changes that made the game so addicting. That's how they made the FPS kind of, they brought it not back to life, but they brought it from being an obscure genre to probably the biggest genre in gaming. And basically when they tried to make Titanfall, as you probably know based on the fact that you haven't seen anyone play this game in a very long time, when they announced the game, it sounded amazing. The COD 4 team making another game, they're making it how they want. They took 3 years to make it. I think it was 3.5 years maybe. And when the game actually came out, like a day later, it was like, this is pretty cool, but there's a couple of issues. A week later, it was like, sorry, what's Titanfall? I've forgotten. And that really was a shame, because there's a lot of really amazing things in this game that point as to what the future of FPS is going to be. And I think with just a few small changes, this could have, been the thing. And I really do think Titanfall 2, whenever that does come out, will be the future. So I want to talk about what's, Titanfall 2 is probably going to do, or at least what the future of FPS, successful first-person shooter games is going to be, and how they're going to actually achieve being, reasonably good games. And by the way, in the background, I decided to, because I actually own this game on PC, I don't have my controller with me, so I can't properly aim. So I figured, let's use the smart pistol. It's an auto-lock-on pistol, which also just spawn-killed a grunt, which is pretty hilarious. It's an auto-lock-on pistol, which is slightly weird to use, and you'll see some funny moments. So it's just a fun pistol, in my opinion. And yeah, let's talk about where this game made some amazing choices and where it went a little bit wrong. So first of all, it made some cool choices in that it has grunts in the multiplayer, which are, AI-controlled enemies, as well as the enemy players. So, for instance, if you want to be like me, which is something I love to do, if you want to get your Titans in quicker, if you want to get all that, score for your team quicker, what you can actually just do is run around killing grunts, which will give you 1/5 of a player kill, but still, if you get enough grunts, that adds up, and that will mean you can get on your Titans faster. So if you really want a Titan, you can just run around, try and get that done. It's a pretty cool ability that, particularly in the attrition game mode, where it does give you a significant amount of points. It's just a really cool idea, and as you can see, I got into my Titan within, 2.5 minutes there. I think that's the normal respawn timer, but it still is ridiculous how fast you get the Titans, because the other big thing this game did, besides the grunts, which are pretty cool, and again, they're missing something, but they're pretty cool, is the fact that they added Titans to the game. So as well as having the player-on-player combat, the enemy combat, you've also got the, Titan-on-Titan combat. So after you do some amount of stuff, you can get to Titans. As you can see, he just tore me out my Titan to kill me, and I did the same to him, and yeah, pretty cool thing right there. And it did add lots to the game, but in reality, all it felt like was, a reward that wasn't a reward, because you could get it in literally 2.5 minutes. As you can see, this is my second one already. I did use a burn card, but I'm in my second Titan of the match, which is meant to be almost like a kill streak, but because you get it automatically, it didn't feel rewarding. And when you did get it, you get 1 Titan kill, maybe, 2 Titan kills and a player kill or something, but you never did amazing with it. You never felt like a death machine. It just felt like another way of playing the game, which is, cool in some ways, but really isn't rewarding. So, no real reward system, they took that out, and then they also, kind of upset people with the lack of variety in the game, because there's 10 guns total, that's like 10 weapons, and that includes, the ridiculous ones, like the smart pistol. I think they thought, well, rather than having a balancing problem, let's just only have 1 weapon of each type, so you can pick what you want, and then there's no decision about that. But in reality, it just made the game feel kind of boring, because you tried each weapon, then you're like, oh, I don't really like these, and then you moved on, and that's the kind of upsetting thing there. But let's start focusing on the negatives, where this game went wrong, because we could talk about that for literally years. Well, probably not literally years, probably literally hours, but, instead, let's focus on where the FPS is going, because as you might know, the Twitch first-person shooter, or even the first-person shooter as we know it today, is kind of dying. Like every single year, the Call of Duty game gets less sales, and that's kind of the industry leader that hence caused everything else. Battlefield Hardline just did awfully. Battlefield 4 before it didn't do amazingly. And then there's Titanfall before that. There's no amazingly doing FPS game that's currently out, perhaps besides Counter-Strike Go. And the reasoning behind that is that they haven't really changed in a while. The reason Call of Duty 4 made its massive success is because it combined with RPG elements, and, I think they need to take another exciting game and throw that in there too. So, what I think the future is, and I think that's where Titanfall almost like it leaned towards there a little bit without doing it all the way, is probably to combine it with another genre. In my opinion, that genre would probably be a MOBA, because a first-person shooter MOBA, if you don't know MOBA, like a League of Legends, Dota 2 type game, they've never, like a game like that has never even been attempted, and there is a few good reasons for that. Like, it is a genre that you can't just make by itself, because there's a lot of inherent issues with it. But all it takes is like altering the formula and trying to add as many new things in there as you can, because rather than just sticking your current formula and being like, I'm gonna this year we're gonna add, you know, we're gonna add new guns, and there's gonna be 6 new guns, you can make your own guns. That's not really too exciting. But if you entirely change the formula of the gameplay, you make this brand new way to reward players, and then that's going to addict players in again. So the reason I think a MOBA, Dota, whatever you want to call it, style game is going to work is because then you can have these 20-minute matches, or if you want, you can do it in like 10-minute form, which could be a little challenging if you want to be like fast, but you can do them however you want to do them. And then on top of just, having your 10-minute matches, inside that match you can have progression as well as outside the match. So, for instance, this could lead to issues if you don't balance it right, but you can make it so, when you get your kills, instead of just getting kill streaks, you get extra abilities for your character, which give you an advantage in the field, again, like in a MOBA game, and that may make you feel rewarded, but not necessarily like, the way that they are, that you might think. So, let's talk about how that would actually work. So, imagine, like the specialist perks you got in Modern Warfare 3, for instance. That's a fun example. And then, so everyone starts the game, everyone picks a class. You can either be a sniper, which has a default sniper rifle, which is, pretty standard, pretty useless. Or you can just give everyone a pistol. However you want to do that, give everyone a reasonably weak weapon that they can't really kill each other with, but that they can kill the enemy minions on the map. Then they can run around, they can go get those minion kills, they can confront each other, and they might lead to a kill, but in reality there are safe zones, where each player has an advantage, so you're not just running around killing each other. And then as you go up, you can unlock, you get little gold for each kill, and you also get abilities every certain amount of levels. So you can get stuff like run faster, you can get stuff like aim down sights faster, you can get all these crazy extra things, and then on top of that, you could have the gold, which allows you, don't call it gold, of course, call it money or whatever you want to, and which allows you to upgrade your weapons slowly, which allows you to get new attachments for it and make it, usable and get more damage from it, all that sort of stuff. And then you can make this crazy type of game where you're trying to make the perfect team. You've got 5 of you going into a game. You're trying to make sure your sniper, well, as I get killed by a sniper, funny I say that. You're trying to make sure that your sniper has, like a way to actually like help out the team. And then you're trying to get your team composition together. So you've got your shotgun guy who charges in there, gets spams out his bullets, and then someone else comes in. It's basically a way just to add teamwork into the game and also add amazing progression. Because although you might be listening to what I'm saying and be like, that sounds awful, the idea in a MOBA game does work really well, where as you get more kills on enemies, as you get more kills on the, AI around the map, that's how you can make your character more and more powerful, and that's just a really, really cool thing, like, knowing that you're on a roll and that you can do this, or knowing that you've got to, be defensive for your objectives, but you can turn this around. It makes the games so rewarding, because when you die in a first-person shooter game, this is good for some and awful for others, it has no effect on the rest. You can kill the person who killed you just as easily as, you can kill them and they can kill you again. It's just that simple, whereas if you add this, it doesn't make it impossible for you to kill them, but it does tilt the odds, and it means they have to play a bit more aggressively because you're going to be playing more defensively. It might sound crazy, but I really do think a MOBA FPS, or like an FPS with like progression inside the game as well as outside, it's it's got to be worked out. It's going to be a really difficult game to get right, but I really do think that is the next level of FPS. If they don't do something like that, then the game will probably die, and that's what I imagine Titanfall 2 is going to do, because they clearly took some strong steps towards that, because you'll notice you can get your Titans upgraded in the game, you can get using burn cards, you can get slightly better weapons in the game. You can do some slightly fun stuff like that. It's not all the way, but it's got the AI stuff there. It's not all the way, but I really do think that they were trying to go like halfway there. So when they do the full way, it's not going to be slightly as weird, because that might make sense for the only 10 weapons, so you can have 10 classes that you slowly upgrade. That's my figuring anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think Titanfall 2 will be one of those games where it either justifies Titanfall stopping existing because it is in development right now, or it really revolutionizes the genre. So as you can see, I came top of the game with 62 million kills, 2 pilot kills and 2 Titan kills. In a regular FPS, this would be 2-7, but in this game, it's 62-7, which is actually significantly better, I think. But yeah, the footage is going to run out soon, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Anyway, like it. Oh, actually, don't like it. Second channel, don't care.